Hi, my name's Emily, and today I'd like to start off by asking you a question. How often do you get up in the morning and you can't figure out what you want to wear? I know I have that problem sometimes, especially when I'm really tired. Well, for many children in the U.S., this is not a problem for them during the school year because their school requires them to wear uniforms. The U.S. Department of Education reported in the school year of 2011 to 2012 that 12% of public secondary schools required uniforms, 20% of elementary schools required them, and 30% that included elementary and secondary required uniforms. Today I'm going to be talking about how uniforms help unite students, how they help parents and teachers, and also how they can hinder students' creativity and burden parents and teachers. I myself went to a school from 5th grade till graduation that required uniforms. Our colors were white, navy blue, and yellow, and every day we'd see those colors walking through the hallways. My experience with uniforms helps me relate to a lot of the points I'm going to be talking about today. First of all, uniforms help unite students. During the adolescent years, kids tend to compare each other a lot, and this can often go through the form of clothing. What labels students wear and just the overall fashion of the school of clothing at that time can cause some children to be bullied. Implementing uniforms in the school system will eliminate this type of bullying. The New York Times states in an article called Dress for Success, written in 1997, that making kids wear uniforms helps them prepare for the real world one day where they will have to wear uniforms or at least dress businesslike. Kids reported that when they wore uniforms, they felt more respected by their peers because everyone was wearing the same type of clothing. Uniforms can also create loyalty for the school just as athletic wear can create loyalty for a team. We all know in the state of Wisconsin what the colors green and yellow mean, and nobody's going to forget that. In the same way, school colors can help create loyalty for the school, especially when everybody's wearing them every day. So we know how uniforms can help the students. How can they help the parents and the teachers? Well, for one, I have a little brother, and I know my mom has a lot of hard times getting him ready in the morning because he doesn't want to wear that shirt with those pants or those shoes because it doesn't match or it doesn't look cool enough. Well, he goes to a school that has uniforms now, and during school days, he knows that he has to wear those clothes, and it saves time for my mom and for him. For students who dress themselves, it saves time for them as well and helps the morning preparation go faster. It can also help teachers because when teachers take their children on field trips, they can find their students a lot easier in crowds. They know what colors to look for, and they know what type of skirt or what type of polo shirt to look for in a crowd, and that way they can make sure that all their students are in one spot and that no one's wandering off. So these are the ways that uniforms can be helpful. How can they be hurtful? Well, for one, uniforms can hinder creativity in students. In a study done by the University of Nevada in 2013, 90% of students that had to wear uniforms reported that they did not like it at all. Uniforms don't let kids self-express themselves. Just like kids compare each other, they also pay attention to what others wear because they see it as a form of expressing someone's personality. And when there's uniforms, it's hard to do that through style or through color choices because both of those are controlled by the uniform. If a school wants an environment and a culture that really encourages creativity and expressing themselves, then uniforms might not be the right thing for that school. How do uniforms burden parents and teachers? Well, for one, uniforms can be very expensive. Everyone knows there's different classes of families in every school, and the lower class families sometimes might have a hard time paying for those uniforms because those uniforms are required to be bought from a certain company. They can't just go to a secondhand store and buy whatever clothes are cheapest for their child. They have to buy those specific clothing items. There are sales done at schools where parents can sell the clothes that their children have outgrown, but there's no guarantee that someone's going to find the right size at those sales. Uniforms can also burden teachers and other staff members of the school because they have to enforce these uniform policies. They have to make sure that the rules are followed, and if someone's not following the rules, then they have to write a little pink slip or send them to the principal's office if necessary. They have to make sure that this idea of uniforms is being followed and taken seriously. So we know that uniforms can help the students by uniting them, and it can help the parents by making preparation easier in the morning, and it can help the teachers by helping them keep track of their students. It can also hurt students by hindering their creativity, and it can burden parents by creating an extra unnecessary expense, and it can hurt teachers and other staff members by creating an extra duty for them during the school day. Overall, schools and members of the school board have to take all of these pros and cons into account when deciding whether uniforms are right for their school. They have to decide what is best for the child and make their decision based off of that. Thank you.